I love all the Yakuza games, that's a fact. Yakuza 2 was never my favorite in the series when I was younger. Yakuza Kiwami 2 has gone a long way to change my mind. Let's keep it 100% real here. The Dragon engine and updated combat system are just a start and what makes it great. Kiryu has found himself in yet another involvement with the Tojo clan. He always tends to get involved in a conspiracy each time he visits Kamurocho, and Yakuza Kiwami 2 is no different. The Tojo chairman is assassinated in front of Kiryu at the gravesite of his friends. He enlists the aid of the rest of the clan and finds out that they are in complete disarray. One thing that makes Yakuza Kiwami 2 different from the others in the series is the way that it piles on the different twists and conspiracies. In Yakuza Kiwami, the drama unfolds quickly as the fists fly more often. In Yakuza Kiwami 2, the drama and the action have reached a perfect medium. The longest that a cutscene runs is about 20 minutes at most, which is a major step up compared to the long-winded dialogue that occurs later in the series. Even then, the cutscenes are on point about the situations unraveling and not just random banter between the characters. Everything is locked in and running on all cylinders here, and it keeps the player engaged instead of wondering when they'll return their hands to the controller. This is also the best story of the series, as it goes as far as making the Tojo clan weaker structurally. Since the Tojo clan is essentially the underdog here, this allows for some Godfather-style scenes and a true power struggle with the rival families. We're given a fair bit of espionage and intrigue that doesn't always directly revolve around our staple character. There's a good cast of characters here with better motivations and development than many of the later titles. It also takes it a step further and introduces us to a totally new story involving Goro Majima as a main character. Majima's story revolves around an assassination within the Tojo clan that paints him as the killer. Majima must clear his name by finding the murderer before the Tojo clan turns against him. It's basically a prequel to the events that explain why Majima is no longer a part of the Tojo clan in Yakuza Kiwami 2. Unlike the Kiryu chapter of the game, the story here is a linear affair that clocks in at only 5 chapters. You cannot level up Majima's abilities, and his combat is locked to a generic set of moves. Enemies stand around blocking the pathways instead of randomly generating in the streets. There are absolutely no sub-stories to be found, and the story itself is predictable and super short. I've never said that anything in the Yakuza series is an afterthought, but this one feels like a simple add-on. It's great for fans to see how Majima left the clan, but that's about all there is to it. The Dragon engine was a fantastic addition to Yakuza 6. It was beautiful, but it lacked substance when it came to the fundamentals of combat. Yakuza 0 evolved the combat in the games by allowing players to choose from 3 different styles per character. Yakuza 6 kept it light and gave Kiryu a realistic basic combat style. Yakuza Kiwami 2 has rectified some of the issues that came from the simplicity of Yakuza 6, but I fear that it still needs some variety. You still cannot switch stances, but now you get 2 different characters with distinct fighting styles. Kiryu's weapon stash has also made a big return, allowing him to access unique weapons to mangle any trash-talking Yakuza. This also means that heat moves have been greatly expanded, with a wide variety of moves that allow for Kiryu to receive assists from people he's helped over the course of the game. The skill system from Yakuza 6 is still a mess, but Kiryu can learn a greater variety of moves. He can learn an assortment of heat moves with weapons, but also new moves from interacting with characters in sub-stories. Ultimately, Kiryu is a lot more diverse in his ability selection in combat. Even with the expansive amount of moves, we'll still end up seeing the same heat moves on repeat. I'd love to see more environmental street moves, and even some of the older ones, like the car door slam, return to the game. It's hard to prove it, but I also think this might be the biggest game in the series. We have so much to do this time around, and it's a little daunting. We've talked about 2 main storylines with Kiryu and Majima, but we haven't talked about the mass of sub-stories. A wide variety of sub-stories and side objectives will reward Kiryu with new heat moves, weapons, and skills, as well as an interesting storyline to top it off. Kiryu can run a cabaret and enter into the Cabaret Grand Prix to win 5 leagues and become the best host club in Sotenbori. The Build a Clan mode from Yakuza 6 makes his triumphant return as well. This time, Kiryu takes charge of Majima Construction and fends off Yakuza who are trying to disrupt the Kamurocho Hills project. The Cabaret Grand Prix and the clan battles also have their own sub-stories. Kiryu will also beat the living money butt out of random bosses that appear around the city. Oh yeah, and he can become a bouncer for hire and run through the streets in beat 'em up style, completing specialized missions. And that's not including all of the random minigames and events like blackjack, mahjong, karaoke, and watching new videos in the back room of a video store. Mr. Libido would be a gush with all the perversion that Kiryu can get into. Let's step back from the massive amount of content to take a look at the visuals. Yakuza Kiwami 2 takes on the Dragon engine, which was last used in Yakuza 6. Kamurocho still looks splendid, but it's the recreation of Sotenbori that gets all the attention here. The highly detailed buildings with futuristic neon lighting and decorative food create an inviting tourist attraction. The engine still fares well with great physics and the ability to enter many buildings without a loading screen. Kiryu and Majima carry themselves with fantastic weight and smooth movement. Now the problems come in the form of distance pop-in, occasional frame rate drop, or complete moments where the game freezes during heat actions. That aside, the game looks and runs well 95% of the time, and the detail of characters and locations are some of the best in the business.
かしこまって。何アホなこと言うてんねん。桐生ちゃんに冗談は似合わんわ。
本気だ。今の登場会にはあんたが必要なんだ。戻ってくれ。
お断りや。
Finally, let's get down to how great the voiceover work is in this game. Every actor delivers their lines with panache and truly take their roles seriously. Sadly, the voice work for sub-stories is no longer a thing, so prepare to read a lot of text. Yakuza Kiwami 2 stands up as an excellent remake. It's beautiful to look at, great to play, and brimming with so much content that it can be exhausting. It also features a smartly told story that keeps the dialogue focused and strays away from long cutscenes. I'm a bit upset that this might be the last Kiwami title just as the gameplay is starting to improve. With that said, I highly recommend Yakuza Kiwami 2 for people that love beat-em-ups and great storytelling. But as I always say, it's your money and spend it your way. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. Peace!